We love cake so much we decided to make it a full-time business. For me, Sammy.
And me, Bronya.
Join us on our journey of discovery as we meet fellow cake professionals, artisan cake makers and home bakers who will give tips and advice on the Business of Cake Making podcast, glitter included.
Follow us on Instagram and listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Podbean, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Sign up to our newsletter and visit the blog at daisycakecompany.co.uk.
Hello! We're together.
Look at us together.
We're together. We just want to be together.
Oh, we're in the same room.
Yes. Yes.
With Sammy's kitchen in the background.
Yes.
Here we are.
Yes. It's a bit different, isn't it?
It is a bit different. And it's a bit weird because we're both looking at a screen whilst simultaneously looking at one another.
We should have put one of those fake screens up on the background, shouldn't we?
Oh, to pretend that you had a really huge...
fancy.
We once interviewed someone that did that.
Yeah, and then they moved and
didn't they show us?
Yeah.
They actually went, this isn't real. And they showed us that their kitchen was actually really small. And it looked like a massive London posh flat with an island.
It was really good. But, what you get with me is what you get.
Yeah, we are nothing but authentic.
Yeah, what you see is what you get. And this is my dustbin. If you move over a little bit, and there's my rolling pin holder. that my brother-in-law made for me.
Right, so this, for anyone who wonders what we're talking about, go to YouTube and have a quick look.
I forgot. Yeah,
we're doing a podcast. Yeah, but go to YouTube and have a quick look at what we're talking about. And it's Sammy's flat in the background. Which is very interesting. It's the first time I've been here. It's very lovely.
Yes.
And look at all the lovely cake things that you've got up on the top of your...
Cake stands up there.
Cake stands up there. Very nice. That's a log.
Yes. Vintage log.
Vintage log. Okay. Hello. How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I may have had a glass of large glass of wine.
I had a Pepsi Man.
Yeah.
But I've got to drive home.
Yeah. I thought... special treat because we were on a business lunch.
Yeah, we went for a business lunch. We had a very nice pizza. It was really nice pizza.
It was
really nice.
So
pizza.
yes,
in a very nice. We were not going to tell you where because it's a little hidden gem in Southampton.
Yeah.
And lots of people were like doing their work.
Yeah,
there,
brilliant.
It's
brilliant.
Yeah, really
I think
nice.
I might go there tomorrow
and do all your admin. Yeah. It's good. It's good. We've had a lot of talk today about the podcast.
Yes.
Changes are afoot.
But nice changes.
Good changes.
Yeah. It's not like when Mrs. Apron comes in and says, oh, you're going to do it how I like, or you're not doing it at all.
But no, they are. It's going to be really good changes. We've been doing this. So this is episode 133. We've been doing this for nearly 3.5 years.
Is it that long?
4.5 years. 4.5 years.
Oh my God, yes.
Yeah, it is 4.5 years. So we need to change things up a bit. We need to change it up for us as well as listeners.
Yeah, we're keeping ourselves fresh.
Yeah, new stuff is coming. New stuff's coming in Sammy's life. New stuff is coming in my life. Our businesses are kind of morphing and changing.
Yeah.
So we're going to integrate all that in.
Diversifying.
Yes. But all the cake business fundamentals that we've been talking about still apply to everything that we're doing.
Yeah, very much so.
Is it that's why we've kind of done it? That
I think so.
We were reminding ourselves of what we need to do in our business whilst our businesses are pivoting and morphing.
Yeah. Pivot. So, yes. So what are we talking about today?
Today we are talking about ideal client. An ideal client is very closely related to what we were talking about last week, to the point that I kept getting confused when I was doing my research, that I had to stop myself talking about
because last week we talked about your niche.
Yeah, your niche market.
And this week, sorry, there's dogs.
No, I just wanted
for them to go.
Told you we are authentic here. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this week we're talking about ideal clients. So we've talked about your business plan and the things that should go in your business plan, and they include your niche market that we talked about last week, and ideal client that we are talking about
today.
This week.
Definitely.
So I'm not sure whether that's right, but we're trying it.
Okay.
Who knows?
Okay.
I'm just moving the microphone because I'm not sure it is where, if you can't hear us, I'm sorry. We might have to record it again. Fingers crossed not.
Fingers crossed.
So, ideal client. Who, why, what is your ideal client?
Okay. So one thing that someone told me once is, if you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. Yeah.
And I remember thinking, that just sounds what are you talking about? If you're talking to everyone, you're talking to everyone. But I get what they mean, that if you're talking to, like, if you just put it out there and talk to the world, you're not relating to anyone in particular.
It's like when you go to a party.
Yes.
And
yes.
There's a whole room of, say, 30 people.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to want to talk to everybody because some of them just aren't your cup of tea.
Yeah.
So you might, wander over. I'm a kind of a kitchen dweller at a party.
Oh, the best parties are always in the kitchen.
And so
always in the kitchen.
You get a good dilution of who you're going to talk to.
Yeah.
And then you find what
you find your people, don't you? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's really difficult when you get stuck talking to the people that you don't want to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah, and you just want to walk away. Yeah,
and you've got to find the polite way to turn around and go,
yeah. I'm just going to go and get myself. I'm just going to the toilet.
So this is the way of not getting stuck with those people.
Yeah.
Not getting stuck in business, having to pop to the loo.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have to think about, when you're thinking about your ideal client, I always picture someone.
Do they have a name?
Sometimes they do. Depends what mood I'm in.
So I used to have, when I did my wedding cakes, my wedding couple were called Matt and Jessica.
That's perfect. Let's stick with Matt and Jessica today.
So Matt and Jessica, and I had a whole life for them.
Yeah, same.
And they were very similar to me, but younger, prettier, more successful,
and getting
married.
Yeah,
they were the kind of me that I wanted to be when I was 20 years younger.
Yeah. Like you have to consider their habits.
Yeah.
What do they like to read? What do they Google?
Yes,
which is very important.
Yeah. Do they go out eating? So are they foodies?
Yeah.
And if they are foodies, what sort of food do they eat? What's that?
Yeah.
What do they like to do in their spare time?
Do they like Italian? Are they Labour, Conservative?
Mm-hmm. Are they your type of people?
Yeah. Would you want to hang out with them?
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, and the thing is that the danger is, although I've just said they were me, but 20 years ago, what I've got to remember is they're not me.
No.
They're what I would wanted to have been 20 years ago, personally.
Yeah.
But you've got to remember that your ideal client is not you.
Yeah. Now, do you age your ideal client?
Yeah, mine were aged because with my wedding business, it was because I was going in at a certain type of wedding. So I was going in at so people that they were young professionals, but they were in like media or arts, but they had a certain amount of disposable income, so they had money. So they weren't relying on their parents. It was their own choice. Yeah. It was their own money. So I put mine about 30 to 35.
Oh, see, mine were younger.
Okay.
Mine were 25.
Okay.
And would tend to be to about 45.
But I wonder, is that because I was in London as well?
Maybe, yeah.
Because I was in London. People in London tend to get married a little later, don't they?
Yeah.
But I thought I didn't want it to be that their parents were paying for their wedding.
No.
They had complete autonomy on the choice of the cake they were having.
Get that very often anymore, do you?
You don't.
It's more the.
But is that because that's your ideal client? You've got your ideal client right,
so they can afford it.
Yeah.
Someone I know is getting married, and so far they've spent about £30,000. Anyway,
it's actually hard cash they've got, or is it?
I don't know. I didn't ask that.
Are you getting a loan to get married?
Yeah.
How long will you be paying all this off for?
Yeah.
So, but it works in all cases. So my ideal client now, so I do a lot of, so my stuff is for my cake shed. I write a lot of recipes. My ideal client now are probably the people listening to this podcast. So people that are starting out in business or have a business, are wanting to do something a little bit different with their cakes. They've got a family, they're working from home. So that's my ideal client now.
Yeah.
And they probably wouldn't put an age on them, to be fair.
No, because it could be any demographic really, couldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also other things that I've put in my ideal client. And it's not like be all and end all, but it's because I talk about these things and I probably attract these people, is that I talk about my dogs. So I probably talk about, and I don't talk about just dogs, but I probably attract people that
like dogs,
or like animals, or have animals in their lives. I go for a lot of walks, so I put posts up about going out, being in the great outdoors, going for walks. And again, I probably am attracting those kind of people.
Yeah.
And then that's a different mindset, isn't it? If you're someone that is animal friendly, likes going out, you've got a different mindset to people that will stay indoors watching television and not have an animal in their life.
Yeah. Yeah. You just never know, do you?
No.
I always like to ask myself, who would you like to work with customer-wise?
Yes. Yeah.
Because you want them to be... Because sometimes you meet a customer...
It grates.
And you just... Yeah, you just don't...
You don't gel.
Gel, that's exactly... Yeah. And you know they don't gel with you. So I'm a hugger. And when a customer says to me, when they're saying goodbye and they say, oh, let's hug, my heart melts. Because I know they're my people.
Yeah. And also when you want to know that when you're talking to someone, they get you.
Yeah.
Because what we do is so creative, and because we're not, until someone comes and collects a cake, they don't know what it looks like. And probably you didn't know what it looked like until they actually collect it or until you finished it. You've got to have someone that can trust you.
Yeah.
So you've got to be in a similar mindset to be able to get there.
Definitely. Because there are people who see the picture and they want that exact picture. Yeah. But you have to educate your clients. Sorry if you can hear that. There's something. Sorry. Still going.
It's still going. They're very insistent.
Yeah. It's finished now. So you want your customer... I forgot what I was saying. Sorry. I had a glass of wine.
I think also, so when you've got your ideal client, I think what is really important is that then you talk to them. You talk directly at them like they're the only person you're talking to.
Yeah.
And whilst all your customers won't be that one specific person, there will be things that they pick up on about you and about your cakes and about your messaging. It's all about your messaging to those people.
I have had a lot of previous customers say to me that they came with me and they chose me because of the way I worded my emails, because I don't really speak to many customers on the telephone. Yeah. Now it's primarily through email. Yeah. And they like the way that I would come back and say, oh, that's a lovely cake. Yeah. Da, 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 da. I wasn't short to the point. Yeah. I used too many words, which I always do.
But you're also enthusiastic about what you do.
Yeah. And I think by my wording, it helps them visualize what they've put down, and that they can see, they can trust what they're going to get with me.
I think some people, I mean, so I had part of my business a few years ago. I did online cake. So I didn't want to deal with anyone. I didn't want to deal with the human race. I'd got to this point in my life that I didn't want to deal with the human race. So I had designs online, and those designs online, people just literally go on, click, buy, off they go. And my ideal client at that point was, I wanted to deal with blokes. They were short, to the point. They didn't want to fanny about. They didn't want any faffing, and they didn't have to want to talk to someone and talk cake with them. They just want to go, I want that one, click, 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 bang. And that's what I needed in my life at that point. I didn't need to be talking to anyone. I didn't want to be talking to anyone. And that's who I was approaching. So when I was doing my marketing around then, it was all about, do you need convenience? Do you know what you want? Are you buying this for someone else? Yeah. And it was like, and so it was like the same product, but taking away all human interaction from it. Yeah.
Yeah, which is what you do tend to get with men.
But there is a certain person that wants that, and there's a certain person that wants the enthusiasm that you've got. Yeah. Whereas I wasn't enthusiastic back then about dealing with the general public at all. Yeah. You know, it was, I just want to make cakes. I don't want to talk to you. Yeah, I didn't want to talk to anyone. I just wanted to make cakes and not have to deal with people. And that was my ideal client. You know, Steve from down the road.
Yeah. So location does make a difference as well.
Yeah.
Where your clients are coming up. Because literally, I've just had a telephone call, haven't I?
Yes.
And they were like, we want a cake for Wednesday. We want it for this many people. Da, 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 da. And I told them how much it was. And they went, okay, we'll phone you back.
We'll get back to you.
And so I presume
You'll never hear from them again.
I won't hear from them again, because location does make a difference on the type of customer you're going to get through the door. Like if you only advertise on Facebook or on Facebook groups, you tend to get these people that say, anyone do a cheap cake for me?
Yeah.
And
that's part of your ideal client. So if you know who your ideal client are, you go to where they hang out, don't you?
Yeah.
So if your ideal client is more high end, richer, more arty, more creative, you don't go to Facebook.
No.
You probably go somewhere like Instagram.
Yeah.
Or maybe even TikTok. I don't know. But you go.
Mine's been word of mouth from for my high end customers. But that isn't my ideal client, because I'm not that type of person and I find them difficult to work with.
Okay.
So I prefer middle of the road.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah. But also, I again, also if you're doing like weddings or if you're doing events somewhere, so you've got a wedding fair coming up, or like we were talking about last week, if you were doing markets and you want your ideal client to be more artisan, you don't go to the local 50p a cake market. You go to the farmers market.
Yes,
you know?
That's right. The local food fair.
Yeah, you choose your venue according to who your ideal client is.
Yeah.
And if you're doing weddings and you have a wedding fair, you don't go to the local sports centre.
Here's an example. When I first started out with Data Cake Company, I did wedding fairs everywhere.
Right.
Because I was like, I just need to get all these weddings in.
Yeah.
And I did them at Holiday Inns.
Right.
And the Holiday Inn in Southampton.
Yeah.
The Dolphin Hotel.
Yeah.
Or is it the White Star? I did various hotels, and some were like 1-star hotels.
Right.
And some were 4-star. I think one of them was a 5-star.
Right.
Sorry about my dog. So this is a very noisy.
Yeah. Sorry about all the background. Andy,
come on in. And the type of cake that was booked from those clients reflected in the cake that they did as well. And
because the thing is that venues have certain costs on them.
Yeah.
So people that have a certain budget will go to a certain hotel because that's what they can afford.
Yeah.
Or that's what they're looking for. There's something about it that, you know, that's what they want.
And what I would find is, because of my price range, I'm middle of the road.
Yeah.
I'm kind of middling. That the hotels in the middle was where I'd get the most bookings.
Yeah.
So it would make sense to not go with the lower or the higher,
very high.
to stick in the middle.
Because I suppose if you go to a really high-end hotel and your price is middle of the range, people maybe want to be paying more. They're expecting to pay more.
Yeah.
And it does reflect on your price will reflect on it.
Yeah. And that has happened to me. This very, very high-end couple were asking me questions. And inside I was just dying, because they were like, oh, was that all? And the things they were asking, they just weren't my ideal client.
Yeah, just weren't your people.
And I guess with experience you learn that.
Yeah. And also other things like style and creativity.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to a certain hotel and it's a very classic looking, or you go to a venue and it's very classic looking, it's very traditional, timeless look. They're expecting a traditional, timeless cake.
Yeah.
Whereas I've made cakes I went to a place called Bistro Tech, which was literally like a disco in the back end of Tower Hamlets, you know? And the cake reflected that.
Yeah.
So that's who you're appealing to. Where is your customer taking this cake to?
Yeah.
What are they doing with this cake? What do they want from it?
Yeah.
Are you that person? You know,
Yeah.
do you match up?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's right. And you want to feel comfortable.
Yeah, you do. You do want to feel comfortable. And you want to feel comfortable where you're marketing as well.
Yeah.
I feel really uncomfortable marketing on Instagram. I feel really uncomfortable going on TikTok because that's for the youngsters.
No, it isn't.
But no, I feel
I feel like that.
But there are certain places you feel uncomfortable. I mean, I don't feel comfortable on Facebook anymore.
No, I don't go on Facebook very, very often.
Yeah, and the things that I see being posted on there, it's not the sort of things that I'm interested in. So I don't want to go on there and spend my time on their marketing on there because the people on, it's not where I feel comfortable being anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
But if that's your place, if that's where you spend a lot of time, it's all to do with your messaging and where you're going and who you're going and yeah.
Do you? I don't know if this is connected, but when you can search on Google and you can search what hashtags they've used. With that, you can guess really by what they have searched for.
Yeah.
What they're looking for.
Yeah,
because
so when I had Jessica and Matt, they worked in my head. They were professionals. They had a small.
He works in IT, and she works for the.
They were in media. Mine were in media and arts. You see,
she works for the environmental section of the waterworks.
Okay. Oh, see, I had. He was more geeky, but he was like on the geeky side of the technical side of media, and she was more creative side of media. And they like to go to eat out. They like to go to music venues.
Yeah.
They like to. That's how they like to spend
walks
time
on the beach with their dogs.
A small group of very close friends.
Yeah.
They did have lots and lots of friends. I could even tell you what they were dressed like.
Yeah.
The whole thing. She would wear DMs to work.
Yeah.
He would never wear a tie to work.
Yeah.
All that sort of stuff. And then when you picture these people and you're talking to them, you can talk to them so much more personally.
Yeah.
You talk to them like they're your mates, and people will feel like mates if they're that person. If there's like a hint of Jessica in them, they will feel like they're being talked to by you.
And by doing this, it can help improve your profitability,
right?
Because in your head, what your ideal client looks like. So you will target that specific area. So you're not going to waste time. Targeting areas that you might not get that custom from.
Yeah. You're not wasting your time.
You're streamlining.
Yeah. You are focused. You are
here, look, I've written
laser
this down.
focused.
You're scaling your business.
Oh,
and you're saving money and resources. Yeah, because
you're focusing all your efforts into all your efforts into the people that you want to work with, and they're at your price point. You're just not wasting time.
Yeah,
because time is money, darling.
Yeah, time is money. So with resources, if you're chasing, say, Bert and Mandy, or Hermione,
we've had a few Bert and Mandy,
Hermione and Tarquin, they're not my ideal clients. You'd be wasting your energy, your effort, your money. And
also really just down to really small things, like, does your ideal client want business cards? Or do they want to be able to tap their phone on your phone and pick up all the details? Little things like that. And talk about them in your messaging. Talk about if you're like so obviously there is like your niche is environmental. You may have gone to just doing the phone tap, but talk about why you've done it, because you want to attract people that are environmentally aware.
You use that in your social media as well. That would make a difference as well.
It's a big part of the messaging. Or if you say, I've got a new brochure, because you like the brochure, then people who like sitting and flicking through brochures will be attracted to it.
Yeah. I just want to throw in the word sustainability.
Sustainability. just for any reason.
Yeah. Well, talking about business cards and tapping the phone.
Yeah, tapping your phone.
You could include that in your social media message. Yeah. You're into sustainability, and you'll be attracting that kind of an ideal.
Those people that are really into it.
Ideal client.
I mean, I had one. So my absolute ideal client came to me, and they were one of the few of the last wedding cakes I made. And they came in and they said that I think they were scientists, actually.
I think you're right.
They were quite high educated scientists, and they wanted hexagons on everything. And I took this cake to central London, which was like a big tick on my ideal client list. It went into a really nice art hotel. So it wasn't like a top end intercontinental type thing, but it was like an arty hotel in the back streets of central city. That was a big tick. They just said, we just want something different. We want it really colourful. And it was a big, I think it was like a 6-inch cake in the shape of a hexagon, but it was probably about 10 inches tall with all these hexagons and colourful drips down. And there was everything about it and everything about them. And when I got there, I'm like, I've done right in my messaging. Yeah. This is a beautiful cake. I'm really enjoying making it. I'm really enjoying where I'm delivering it to. I really enjoyed chatting to them, and they're just saying, yeah, we trust you. And I knew that I'd got it right at that point. And they had big budgets as well. What can you say?
Yeah. Big budgets.
Or reasonable budgets.
So come.
I would say reasonable budgets. But yeah. And that's when I knew that I'd talked to said all the right things in my messaging, all the right things in my marketing, all the people that I had around me in my sort of like supplier network were all right. And I got this beautiful ideal client and a fantastic, and they were no hassle. They were easy to deal with.
That's perfect then. Yeah. That's just what you need.
Yeah. And when someone's easy to deal with, you've got the right people.
Yeah. And you feel comfortable.
Yeah. And they gave me a bottle of champagne as a tip.
I like that. I hate it when you meet a customer and you genuinely click with them and you want them to be your new best friend. I find that very difficult.
This is a professional relationship here. Professional.
That's right. That's right.
Yes. I would actually, I'm just going to throw something in that I have just remembered. If you go to daisycakeandco.com,
yes,
and if you click on shop, you will find a downloadable. I did it probably about 4 years ago, so it might be a little bit out of date. But there is a downloadable audio workbook, audio workshop and workbook. So you can work through working out what your niche is, working out what your ideal client is. You can listen to me in your ear roll for an hour. And everything that's on there, you can kind of work through with the workbook. And I think it's something like £10 or £15.
Yeah.
And you can just completely work through it's like talks you through it all. And I did it about 4 years ago. So I may go back and listen and see if it is. No, I won't go back and listen and see if it's out of date because that'd just be cringy. But it's on daisycakeandco.com. Have a look because it's there.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
I think we've spoken about all we need to speak to.
Yeah, about ideal client.
What are we going to be talking about on our next?
As she goes backwards and has a look. Money. Pricing. We are talking about pricing. It's quite important.
Yeah.
But we're talking about sort of like price point, aren't we? We're not talking about how to price. Well, we are talking about how to price.
Yeah, but how to price your way.
Yeah. And also what you want to charge and what margins you want, because this is all part of your business plan. What kind of money do you need to be making in order to run your business? So what sort of pricing do you need to do in order to do that? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
That sounds right.
Okay.
Yeah, don't panic. Don't panic.
Oh, you're going to ask me if I've got a top tip now as well, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a top tip.
Okay.
Always got a top tip. Always.
So right. you can go first.
No, you got to sing first.
Oh, I know that.
Yeah, okay, I'll go first.
See if I can remember the tune. Top tips, Bronya and Sammy's top tips. Woo! We changed tune slightly, but
hey. Woo! Okay, so my top tip, and this could be a bit of a shock for you. It might not be. You'll probably go, yeah, I know that. Did you know you can put stainless steel bowls in a microwave?
No.
I know. So you know how they say never put metal in a microwave?
Yeah.
Right. So the other day I was making cinnamon buns. I was making cinnamon rolls, and I was trying to mix the filling for the cinnamon roll, and my butter was too hard and it wouldn't mix. But I started mixing it in a stainless steel bowl, and I thought, oh, I need to pop it in the microwave.
No.
And I'm like, oh no, it's a metal bowl. But I had watched that very morning an Instagram reel with this woman saying, did you know you can put stainless steels in the microwave? Stainless steel bowls. So I thought, I'm going to try it. Because she did it. She said, I've never done this before. She said, I'm going to try it. So I put it in the microwave, shut my eyes really tight in case I blew the place up. And it was fine. It was absolute. I didn't set the place on fire. There was no sparks. It was fine. So if you think about, I mean, I don't know about you, but I've owned a couple of microwaves that have had like metal things. Like, what are they called? Like racks, metal racks.
Yeah.
They don't explode in there, do they?
But I worked at a homeless place, and one of the poor young lads there put a tin of baked beans in.
It's a tin.
Oh.
So stainless steel.
So
And because you don't have any sharp corners, because it's a bowl.
Yeah.
So, if you put tin foil in, it reflects, because it's all like got sharp corners and different directions. It reflects in it. But because a stainless steel bowl is smooth and it's usually slightly matte, I did it and I didn't burn the place down.
Well, it explodes, doesn't it?
Yeah. But try it on your microwave for like 5 seconds. I mean, I literally put it in, shut my eyes really tight and prayed and hoped. And
I'd Google it.
No, I did Google it and it said, don't do it. But I did it anyway. I did it and it didn't burn the plate. I think you have to have pure stainless steel.
Yeah.
Very smooth bowl. And
Wow, I might try it.
Yeah.
I use stainless steel bowls a lot.
I will put a disclaimer. If you do burn your house down, please don't blame me.
No, I'm glad you said that. Well, my tip seems quite lame compared to yours.
Is that what we've become? Stainless steel bowls in a microwave. It's exciting.
So my tip
Yes.
is something that I always forget to do, and it catches me out, is shut down my laptop and shut down my phone so that it can do updates.
Yes.
And close down properly and clear its memory and just have a general like relaxation.
So what do you do? Just put it to sleep? And
Yeah. And because there's nothing worse than it gets slow, it doesn't do the updates. So my top tip is
turn your phone off.
Turn your phone off and shut down your laptop.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Definitely. And also, do you sleep with your phone by your bed?
I do, yes, but I use it as my alarm and I listen to my podcast.
Okay. See, I don't. We don't have our phones by our bed.
No,
so.
my sister doesn't either, and she turns the internet off at night.
Oh, I don't get that far.
Does it go through your brain?
Oh no! See, we've got Google clocks, so we would never get woken up otherwise.
No. So yeah,
no.
But
that's a good tip. And the amount of times that you go on your phone, and how many apps have you got open?
Yeah. So yeah,
and you're like, why? Well, this reel not post.
It's giving your phone a rest. Yeah. So you think about it. You go to bed and have a sleep. You should let your phone go to bed and have a sleep, or your laptop, or your computer.
Do they work in the same way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course they work in the same way, people. Of course they do. Right. So that is us for today.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Look, I've got redder and redder and redder because the window's open. It's getting quite warm. Windows closed. It's getting quite warm in here.
Yeah. I'm glad you can feel that as well. It's not just me and my glass of wine.
It's quite warm in here.
Thank you very much for listening.
Yes. Thank you very much. Please like, subscribe.
And dance.
Do all your stuff.
And we'll see you next time for a pricing.
How exciting. We probably won't be together though.
No.
So if you've enjoyed this bit, us being together, I'm sorry. If you haven't enjoyed it, it's all right. It's not going to happen again.
Yeah.
Right.
Bye.
I would like to be with you more.
Yeah. I want to be together.
Yeah. Sorry. You were saying?
I was saying bye.